What's going on, guys? We go back to episode 12 of the Ten10 podcast. Today we're very privileged to be joined by Welsh boxing legend, former world champion and now accoladed professional boxing coach and amateur coach. The legend is Gavin Rees, local legend as well, if you're from the valleys. I hope you enjoy the episode as much as we did. Always a good crack with Gav, and I just want to give a big thanks to today's sponsors, LMS Corporation Limited and The Watchers & Co. So don't forget to check out those guys in the description, give them a follow online and get in touch for anything you need. Right, we're back to it. Joined by the legend, Gav. What's happening, Gav? How's it going?
Yeah, it's all good, buddy. Nice to be on the show.
The mainstay of Welsh boxing, I think, at the moment, but I know, do you know what I mean? Former world champion, doing a lot with the amateurs, a lot of pros coming through. I'll start off the questions with transitioning from fighter to coach. What's been the pluses, what's been the negatives, what's been the most difficult thing you found since you've crossed over to become full-time in coaching?
I found it quite easy, to be honest. Obviously, when I was still boxing, when I bought the club, because I knew I wanted to have a gym. And transferred it perfect. I think that's what actually helped me stop boxing so much, to be honest. Obviously, a lot of boxers, when they retire, they come back.
Yeah.
No, I was still doing well. Still won my last fight. A lot of people thought I would have come back, but because I had the gym, it sort of diverted my attention to the young kids and carried on from me. Really, it's been open. I've been retired 11 years next month now. 11 flown by, yeah.
You went down to watch the retirement.
Unbelievable, flown by, yeah. And then
fight.
it's quite easy, and I still spar now, so still have a go.
Do you ever have that bug when you do a bit of sparring?
No, you got to realise at the time, like a lot of fighters don't realise, I was 34, my hands hurt, my elbows hurting, my right hand, my left elbow. When you haven't got two good hands to fight, it's very hard. So, no, I think that helped me move away, and then training the kids. I got some great kids up the gym now come through, dedicated. But like I say, transaction, I do get frustrated, yeah, but with the diets and that. They tell me a lot of lies I've told to Ed Enzo and Gary Lockett, and you think, and then they put half a stone and it's water weight, and man, I don't think I am. But you know, it's very hard sometimes. They got good kids, and they're not going to fulfill their potential unless they actually knock it down. It's very frustrating.
Do you think it helped you? Because a lot of fighters say do get the bug, don't need to come back. Because do you think it helped by being a coach because you're out, but you're still in a way, if I'm the fight camp, the buzz, like being there 6 o'clock in the morning for the boys.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I never had one iota coming back. When I retired, I knew I was retired, and I stuck to it. I never wanted to come back. Probably could have for a couple of quid, but there's other ways of making money, boys. I bet and get punched in the face. Even though I get punched in the face for fun, it's fine. I still enjoy it, but no, I would never once wanted to come back.
Did you have any offers when you first retired? Any big offers off big promoters?
No, I think Eddie knew that I wanted to retire, and he said he wouldn't offer me. He never did. Never come back with nothing. No, and I obviously beat Guy back then. But then, even though I beat him, he had a Commonwealth title shot, but I didn't want it. You know, I
did on the back of losing to you, did he?
I'm not sure straight away. Boxing, I'll come with the name of the boy box, but
he's got to win in between.
Yeah, but then no, I didn't want it, and then they honoured it. They didn't offer me no fights, which I wanted.
Massive fights, they were in the back. Were they your last two fights?
Yeah, the last two, yeah.
Because we went and watched both of them, didn't we?
So the last one, people actually didn't spar for that fight. They got bad hands. I actually phoned Guy at the start when he was announced, and I wasn't training. I said, Guy, I've had enough. And then I was coming out tomorrow. So he thought I was going to go in there and say, I've retired now. But I went in for I said, one last plan, I said, I'll have this fight now. I'll win this fight and walk away. I won spar. He said, you won't do it. I said, I will, man. So I actually had a good camp, and actually that fight I've already boxed best of about fucking years. Well, you know, and everyone said, no, you're not going to retire now. I said,
I fucking am. It was such a clear-cut win as well.
Yeah, you know, I boxed beautiful.
You should have won the first one.
Yeah, I know you should have, could have, but you know, I don't look back and nothing like that.
I remember Guy telling me this time. Is it true for the last one you told him you was doing it your way with the diet and everything?
Yeah, I was like, I always have a dietitian, water weight now. I thought, that. I do it my way. I have McDonald's a day and that
was his exact. Let me tell you,
I can turn my balls off. I have one good meal a day. I don't need to have loads of water and loads of chicken and rice. I have one good meal a day, and I'll train hard and I'll make the weight.
That's exactly.
I did so many years on my own way, and I would try to listen to other people, and it just doesn't work right sometimes.
He told me exactly that. And Gary said he told me he'll do it, but he said he's having a McDonald's a day.
I want it my way, like.
Yeah, following no diet.
No, they do it for so long in your way. You get in your own way. You know what you're doing, and you can monitor it, and you make the weight. You know. And I was always good like that. So
let's take you back. But one about like, how did you start boxing? Was you pushed into this something you always wanted to do?
I think I was 9 years old. That's when I joined boxing. Boxing. I'm not sure it was Ben and Eubank about time, about that. Frank Bruno. Watched my band, went down Newbridge. I said I want to go to the gym. So he took me to Newbridge, then to Calzaghe's. I remember the first day walking in, I don't know, I always remember it was on the right, I walked through the left door, and on the right hand side, Bradley Price and his brother skipping. It's quite daunting at the time when you're a little 9-year-old kid. But no, and become friends for life, and I'm still friends with him now. I haven't seen his brothers, Byron and Dal, for so many years, but you make friends for life. Joe Calzaghe, it's a good atmosphere to be in the gym, boys. You know what it's like. When you get friends in the boxing gym, you punch over each other, but you're friends for life, and it brings a close bond, doesn't it?
So
and when you have an hard fight with someone, you seem to be friends then for life, and you know what, they beat you up or whatever, it doesn't seem to matter.
How old was Joe when you joined? Was he older or younger?
I think Joe's, no, he's younger than me, yes. He's 50 odd, man.
Joe's my age,
Right,
54 this year, Joe.
So is Joe quite
I think Joe's 10 years younger or 9 years younger than me.
So he's quite established,
I'm 40. I'm 45 next. No, Joe must be 54, something like that. I'm not sure.
He was 54 this year. He was.
Oh yeah, well obviously I was 9. Joe was like between nearly 20 years of age, and so he obviously senior champion. Probably wasn't long before he was going pro. So yeah, he was like everyone looked up to him as a kid, obviously.
So I was going to say, what was it like? Because obviously he must have had other guys around his age in the gym who were doing well, Byron A. Wood and all that.
Yeah.
What was it like going in there as a kid, seeing all these guys training and sparring?
Yeah, well, that's like anyone. Like when you're in a gym, you look at Jack Marshall, you want to aspire to be like them, don't you? You want to train hard, but fair play to Joe, he did train hard, man. Run hard, trained hard, sparred hard, everything. And that's the gym we come from. Like I say, we had Bradley Price and his brothers, Darry and Brian. You best friends walking in the gym together, but God, you punch fuck out of each other. And I mean, absolutely, like, if you hurt them, you hurt them, you know, it's part of the game, isn't it? But we're all best friends, we're still best friends. It's crazy sport boxing.
They do create a unique bond on any combat sport, whether it's MMA, boxing, Thai boxing. As you said, the mentality of that group of people where you're best friends outside of the gym, but you go in, you knock the lumps out of each other and then leave best friends. There's not many sports in the world
not at all,
where you have that camaraderie and you have that mindset and mentality, you know. Like even rugby at high level, they're not smashing each other in training.
No, you're right.
That's been stopped.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? The physicality has been stopped. But I think one thing you can't stop in combat sports is the physicality. Not saying every day you've got to spar hard, but you've got to have them sessions where physically you've got to push yourself a bit.
Well, you say that now. The years ago, every session was hard. There was no easy sessions. There was no touch sparring.
Technique with other guys? No, you still.
My kids got to go in and spar hard, yeah.
Every day.
Well, I've finished spar. As long as you know, if they got two boys same level, they go flat out.
Yeah.
But if you got one boy betting the other boy, say, "Come on, I'll take your time now." Yeah, bring him on a little bit. Yeah, but if you got two boys the same, they go.
How often a week will you have a match spar?
Maybe once, twice. Twice. Sometimes it all depends. Like the boys fighting on Saturday, they had their last good spar on Monday. They box Saturday as well.
Where I guess when you was young and up and coming, it was a bit more raw back in the day. Probably sparring hard pretty most days.
Yeah, of course, all the time. You never had no touch sparring, no easy sparring.
Yeah.
You see some gyms only go body sparring, light sparring. You don't. When you put them into fights, then you see them. They're tentative and not scared to get punched. No, but one thing about the boys at the gym, they're tough boys and they're all ready to go.
When you walked in our gym, was it immediate you thought this is something I want to do, or was it a gradual thing with the boxing? No,
it must be immediate. So when I joined, I never stopped, and obviously we had a couple of ropey years for the teenage years when we started drinking and doing shit like going out with the boys. But no, I got banned once when I was about 22, 23. But even then, I still trained right through. And
what were you banned for?
Fighting outside.
Who done that? The commission put a stop to that then?
Yeah, well, I obviously went to court. Didn't go to jail. And the boxing board called me and gave me a 12-month ban. It was on the front page. I said, not good for the sport, which is understandable. I served my ban, still trained all the way through and come straight back when it's over.
My argument on this is all, as boxers, as MMA fighters, your job is to fight. And so by nature, there's a natural bit of aggression in all of us. And then people are shocked when they see like something like that. We've had a street fight. Well, unfortunately...
You know how you see street fights and they shut, you know the punch when you box.
You know the punch. And you're not going to suffer fools. You've got that confidence about it where you're not going to become a victim. Then all of a sudden, 12 months, I think that's ridiculous, mind a 12-month ban, isn't it? Jeez.
Yeah, this 12 months. Yeah, I shouldn't have done it, so I served my time, come back.
22?
I was on the verge of a British title shot, but I had to come back, must have been 24, something like that, and it took another 3 years to get going again, then.
How many amateur fights do you have?
86.
And so did you turn pro at 18 or was it a little bit?
Yeah, 18, no one boxed me in the end, yeah. I lost 6, lost 3 and 10. That'd be 10 back in the day. I lost 3 of my first 6, and then I went on a run of 21 fights unbeaten. I lost in the British final. I remember crying upstairs, and Enzo McNally was there. I can remember it clear as day, looking out the window. I was crying my eyes out. But then I only lost 6 fights. I lost my first 3 and then a 3 end. So
you lost 3. So you lost your first 3. And
No,
then
I had 6, 1, 3, lost 3. I lost to a boy from Pontypool, Huey Johnson. Still see him now and again. His kids come on my gym and train. He beat me 3 times, and I beat him twice. He won boxed me again then. And then I went 21 fights, and I lost another 3 fights after that. I went from 15 to 27 for losing again.
Any guys you fought as an amateur that went on to do big things as a pro?
Oh, not really. It wasn't so much years ago big things in amateur. There was no Welsh set and we was like a thing called Welsh Federation. They split from the ABAs. So then after, I didn't think I boxed from 16 to 18. So I just turned pro then. Yeah, at 18 years old, straight away, yeah.
That's what you said, and he was undefeated from 15 to 27, 12 years.
Yeah.
As that. So 2 years as amateur and then the rest as pro, fair play.
I just think, I lost to a guy when I was world champion of Katana. I won lost a fight for 12 years. They took things for granted.
Yeah. Drinking,
stupid times, a couple of weeks of fights, not training properly. And I was gassed after about 5 to 6 rounds, and he just beat me on.
Do you think that from having success, so much success, you think?
Yeah, it's been a fucking dick, drinking and doing shit you shouldn't be doing, not dieting properly. Just thought he was unbeatable in the end.
Yeah. Talk about the lead up to the point where you got a fight for the world. How many fights did you had before you got the world title shot?
26 or 27, yeah.
So how did that come about? Was it a case of you just, because you won the British, the call?
No, I didn't win nothing like that. I think I was 20 or 25 and 26 and I had that big year off, and then just got offered out of the blue. And I obviously should have had a British title fight again. Remember Michael Gomez boxed Alex Arthur? Yeah. I was supposed to have that fight. See how that's going like fighting outside again.
Yeah, you learnt your lesson.
5 weeks for the fight. I was going out, right? I'll tell you the truth. I was going out on a piss to the boys to Blackwood. And I went down to the gym and said, I got a fight in 5 weeks. I thought, fuck, I'm going out tonight. Well, I'll go out tonight, have my last drink, One thing led to another. There was a fight in Blackwood. I joined in. Someone kicked me in the mouth. They grabbed his foot and come over the court and knocked on his tuff. And that was the end of the fucking fight. And I wasn't boxing in 5 weeks' time. I was in hospital for a week on a drip in my hand and he lost my finger. But,
well, like sepsis in it, was he going
in his mouth. I was pissed up, went to bed, got up, it was like a balloon in the morning. And I was supposed to box. I had Alex Arthur, Gomez was a champion now. And that's when Gomez knocked Arthur out. That was supposed to be me in the fight. But one thing led to another, that was another couple of months off. Not living the right life, like I give my kids a row about, but shit happens, boys.
What was the build up to the world title fight like in terms of training? Was there how long notice did you have?
We had 6 weeks notice. We went abroad. We did probably the best place for me. Went over Enzo's villa, trained hard for 10 days over there. Brilliant, man. You need to take yourself away from the place sometimes.
Did Enzo have a villa set up with a gym?
Yeah.
Did he?
No, he didn't have it set up as a gym. He had like a villa, which he went on holidays, and then we'd train in, which he was a local gym.
In Italy?
Yeah, in Sardinia, yeah. Went over there for a week. I've gone to gym at 10 for 2 weeks like that. Got in great shape, away from all the distractions, just trained all the time.
Nice heat as well.
Yeah, nice heat, away from all the booze and looking all the distractions in life. And all the way your friends who were obviously going out, so it's a lot better.
What was the weight cuts like back in them days? Was it obviously it was no...
That one was okay.
No nutritionist or nothing like that back
then?
No,
Enzo's diet. Fuck me, you think we diet on fucking... pasta and bread, the Italian way, just because he wasn't put weight on, I would, But it was very hard. We didn't have much help years ago. Obviously, it was before the internet times and all the technology and the dietitians, and it was done it the trainer's way.
I think nutrition have been a game changer, haven't it?
Yes, of course, have. Yeah, 100%.
Look at some of the weight cuts we've done with you. We'd never have done it without a qualified nutrition giving us advice.
Some diets I had years ago was pasta and beans on toast. We have beans on toast for energy and bread, like, so fucking mental. But
so obviously because you was in the Calzaghe camp, you was obviously a pro, I guess, at a time when Joe was having the big fights. Yeah. What was it like to be around there and the buzz around it? Because you had a big stable, didn't you? It was always like you say, you, Bradley, Enzo, Joe,
Cleverly, Guy Lockett,
younger again, and he Gary.
Bradley's a bit younger than me 1 year, and then Cleverly must be about 4 years younger, maybe 5, 6 years. I don't know.
So was it mental buzz around at that time?
Like I said, we had I think we had 4 world champions in the gym at the same time. To be honest, I don't think that'll ever happen in Wales again.
Who was it? Yourself, Joe, Enzo?
Oh, fucking put me on the spot now.
Lockett.
Nathan, wasn't it? Nathan
Cleverly.
Nathan, yeah. Yeah, and they all at one time in the gym. It's unbelievable. If one gym to get 4 champions, you'd be lucky to have one British champion in Wales at these current times. But
it was special times, man. Wasn't it? And when you look at it, like you said, I think it was the first time.
I think we had 4 at the same time. That was 2007. I think we only had 3 or 4 champions since all that time. We had 4 at the same time, man. And that was 14 years ago.
Was Enzo the only one doing pads now, or did you have?
No, only Enzo.
coaches?
Enzo had just changed the sons.
No one else in the help.
Only ever Enzo.
So how many of you would be under his umbrella at that time? Would you say?
Oh, fucking hell, about 8, 9, 10, something like that. We always had Tony Doherty, Harry Miles, fucking James Todd.
Would you all train at the same time, or would he give you all separate sessions?
Yeah, we all trained together.
God, his elbows must have been...
Yeah, wow.
But at you, Joel, it's a lot more bag work than pad work.
Yeah, bag work, sparring, you know. When you go to gym like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boys like that, it's always great spar, all good boys.
Yeah.
And iron sharpens irons boys. You sparring good boys, you know you're actually on the game. And it was a great time to be in a good gym like that.
Oh, I bet. You imagine the quality, you'd be paid to watch some of them sessions, wouldn't you? When you name who you've just named here as in there having a spar. I'd love to have CCTV back in them days and just...
Yeah, we had sparring with like Joe Calzaghe, Enzo McNally, what's his name? Nathan Clare, all sparring each other, Bradley Price, all sparring. They're all top level boys, sparring each other every day in, day out.
It's no wonder the level.
Yeah,
no wonder everyone did
it's like when you got a time like that, you got to sink or swim. Unless you start fucking going with them, you're going to get beat up every day. So people just get better. And I think that's what it is. We're going to gym on your own. And we haven't got really good sparring all the time. Same with my amateurs, they need a dance partner. It's very hard to get better with a dance partner.
It is so much better if you've got strength and depth, particularly around the same weights and stuff like that. Would be fun. I want to go back to your amateur because I can't remember if you told me a story or I'd read a story that Enzo, because he was like desperate to get you all amateur fights all the time, and because of the reputation some of you boys had, he was ripping out pages of your fights.
No, I'm not going to say I can't.
Is that
yeah,
true?
Of course it is, yeah. And then like I said, and say, oh, fucking no one's a boxer, so take some pages out. But at the time, my amateur, it wasn't like now you got a 2 kilo weight allowance. I remember times we rocking up the show, you walk up, oh, this is my size, he's fatter than me. Oh, he's a stone heavier, but we bet him, so we fight him. You give a stone away all the time, man.
Yeah. But
just because you're stone heavier, people don't realise it doesn't make you any good. You just got a bad weight advantage, that's all it is.
And I think that crosses over more into MMA than boxing, probably. The weight.
You get some parents and boxers which he's a kilo heavier than me. Fucking kilo, what are you on about? I'll drink water and you're a kilo heavier.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely nothing. No, it's nothing, man. Back in the day, like I say, we boxed a stone heavy, and you still winning, but easy, man.
It's come full circle now, because years ago it was all about being the big, same in MMA, it was all about being the bigger guy, or you want to be as big as you can for the weight, whereas now it's kind of coming full circle where people are starting to click on it. Well, the less water weight and the less I punish myself, then I'm better off fighting it closer to a natural weight.
Go better pace, can't you?
If you was about now with all the way is switching now, do you think you would have fought at the same weight, or would you have looked to gone up?
What was you fighting at?
9'9".
9'9".
I boxed as low as I boxed title. When I Intercontinental title, I had a defence at 9 stone. Didn't box at no title, super featherweight, and then I actually won a world title at 10 stone and then come back down to 9'9".
How much would you cut for a fight, Gav, at pro?
Only for fucking stone.
Yeah.
I'd probably walk around nearly 12 stone, but then I box at 9'9".
Right, so
I can walk around and spar. I wouldn't spar much less than 10, 11 stone. That'd be no good.
You didn't feel like that?
No. I'm walking my way in, and obviously like the stone, it's just the last week or two of water weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I could spar good at 11. If I try to spar at 10 and a half, oh, you're in there tired, fucking feeling tired, and people just beating up thinking, fuck me, I'm not good at this anymore. Yeah. It's a mental game. Yeah. You go from the gym and think, I can't do it no more. But it's just the weight, man.
And in this game, a mental is a lot of it, because you can leave our gym, can't you? Having the itis, like thinking, I feel on fire today, nobody in the world can beat me.
Yeah. The next day.
And then you go, Jesus Christ, I've been submitted by everyone, I've been battered around the boxing ring. It is hard, isn't it? It's such a roller coaster with emotions.
That can be like a bit of a flip side of coin. I've got a big team as well, because you may be in this sparring a boy your weight, but he might not be in training camp, might not be depleted from cutting weight, and then you were 2 weeks out from a fight, and you think, well, fucking 6 weeks ago I was having the bet with him, now he's having the bet with me. Like, what's going on? Obviously, Gav, you won the world title, didn't you? And then obviously you lost it when you went for the defence. Was that then when you went to Lockett's gym, or was there a couple of fights later?
No, well, many fights after that. I didn't box when I lost the world title for a year and a half, and not a year. I'd been in box a year. Obviously, Joe had a fallout with Frank Warren, and then he took out in the stable, to be honest. No one else boxed. So that's where Cleverly left, because he wasn't getting no fights. Bradley Price more or less left him.
Against the team, none of he was getting matchups.
So then, obviously, that contract ran out, and then I think what happened then? Oh, I had an offer in prize fight, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was my fight back then.
Remember watching that prize fight on there?
I got into prize fight there. And then, obviously, there was no shots coming after that. And then they decided to leave Enzo and go down and join the guy Lockett.
So you were still with Enzo at prize fight there?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, fighting him twice in one night?
Three times.
Sorry, yeah.
Piece of piss, my type of fight. And I just go flat out free. I only get back out. He was a train box. I have a fucking 12.
What was the format?
Or do you have a free bout?
Yeah.
About hour off when all the other boys have a fight, and then You have another one in about 45 minutes. I'll have another one.
again, yeah?
Yeah.
So every
free freeze, yeah, every time, yeah.
round, yeah?
So it's very, people say struggle, but they say, I bet that's hard in one night, but it's hard doing 12 straight.
Yeah.
If we go free in, free out, free in, free out, it's easy.
With an hour gap in between.
Yeah, of course, right. I can do it now.
Suit you now,
yeah, of course it does. Yeah, you can go absolutely flat out and box well. A break, if we used to box in 12 rounds, that's a doddle for anyone, like.
So you went down with Gary, also went on a really good run then. What was the... Was it very, was the gym culture different, training down with Enzo as to Gary? Was it similar? Was a lot the same? You was probably one of the older lads when you went down with Gary compared to some of the young
Yeah, it was, yeah. Obviously, I went down there. I think Tony Docherty was down there and Jeff Evans from Pontypool. I'm not quite sure if he had... I think he might have had Liam Williams on the box. I know he was very young then. I'm not quite sure if he was there at that time, Alex Hughes. And Lewis Rees, they're all good quality kids. I can't quite remember who was there first. But I know Docherty left Enzo's first and he went down to Gary's, and then Tony texted me, so I just followed him, man. We had 2 fights then with Matchroom. And then I signed with them, man. We had a British title shot.
What year did you go to Gary's?
2009.
2009, long time now, isn't it?
That's when I won prize fight, and it was straight after that, yeah.
Did you would know Gary from the...
Of course, he was Enzo's gym. No, he was boxed Enzo, didn't he?
He's up in Enzo's.
Yeah, but he did go elsewhere as well, Gary. He won his...
But I think he was somewhere first. I'm not quite sure when I've asked him. And then he came to Enzo's. I'm not sure if he was... And he fought Pavlik with Enzo, I think, and he retired then, didn't he?
Right,
so... Yeah, so obviously down Enzo's for 3 years, so obviously got to know him. I knew him from the amateurs anyway, from when he was on squad, and now he's knocking everyone out with his kids. And I mean, fucking knocking them out. So, yeah, I knew of him, but obviously got to know him down to Guy's gym, Enzo's gym, and then I joined the gym, man.
And it all straight away?
Yeah, 5 years together, I think. I tried retiring at 34, it must have been 5 years, yeah.
I'd like to add him pulling his ear out, because he's like, I know, he's a no-nonsense goalkeeper.
Yeah, you know.
He's like, your diet better right, you better be sleeping, no drinking.
Trip, I think
imagine him coming through the door.
Yeah, I think we had a first trip, I think I boxed in Ireland, we took Bradley Price, and then after that trip, Bradley wanted to come again. Yeah, I like a joke and mess on whether I'm fighting or not. I need to chill out, and fuck about. But no, this guy's very strict and very serious. He does it proper way.
And you had the Broner fight was with...
yeah, I think, I'll tell you what, I had 2 fights, then a British title. Fucking out to go then. I think I defended that, and then I went to I give a British up then because I think I had a broken nose or something wrong. I had blood vessel in my nose. So they had the belt off me. I said, I'll give you the belt, the Matchroom, as long as you give me a European title shot. She said, I'll go on, we'll do that deal. So then I come back in a European and British title then against Danny Matthews.
I remember watching that, the crowd was working up the crowd.
I boxed him, and sure, I went there going, I'm in the order of the fights, and I would have fucking paid, but I boxed a kid in France and Massage with Gary. That was a weird experience over there. It's not like a crowd over here. You go in there clapping me and clapping everyone else. Very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good though. Very hot in the arena. I stopped him in about 8 or 9, I think, something like that. That was a very good fight.
The Derry Matthews one was a good finish as well, wasn't it? Proper face plant.
I think it's round 10 or 9 or 10, I think, yeah. Very good performance.
You know your final fight against Buckland?
Yeah.
And so at that point, when you accepted that fight, you would 100% made your mind up you was calling it a day.
Yeah, of course.
What was your reasons for that? With the retirement?
Obviously, I was trying to train with a bad hand and a bad elbow, and I'd already lost a Broner, Crawler, and Buckland, and I thought to myself, fucking hell, Crawler and Buckland wouldn't have beat me 5-6 years ago. And in the end, you got to think to yourself, do I want to keep going out to be a stepping stone for all these young boys, or I'll just go out on high? So I said, I'll win this fight and I'll retire. You might not win, but I fucking might win now, innit?
What's going on, guys? Just a quick break from the episode to thank our sponsor for today. Today's episode is sponsored by The Watcher & Co. The Watcher & Co is a trusted watch dealer who specialise in buying, selling and trading luxury timepieces. Whether you're looking for a rare collectible or looking to sell your watch for top value, they're there to provide expert service at unbeatable prices. You can contact them on Instagram or via email, and if you do so today, you'll be able to browse their collection or get a free no obligation appraisal. You can get in touch with these guys on Instagram at The Watcher & Co, or you can contact them for a quote on buying, part Xing, selling your watch, whatever it is, at thewatcherandco.outlook.com. Please show these guys some support because they support us, and we'll put a link to their Instagram and their email in the description below. We also want to give a big shout out to our second sponsor of the day. We're sponsored today also by LMS Corporation. LMS Corporation ensures a seamless experience for buying your new vehicle and providing an efficient vehicle brokering and logistics solution service. from purchase to delivery. These guys do it all. Dealing with some of the highest, biggest clients in the country, from professional footballers to successful businessmen to your average Joe. So get in touch with these guys and show them some support, guys. You can get in touch with LMS via email, and that email is booking@lmsc.uk. We'll put a link to their email, their website in the description below. Or for any more details, obviously get in touch with us and we can forward you on to them. Please show them some support because they're supporting us. And let's get back to the episode.
And I don't think people are, like, all they ever see, and I've said this numerous times in interviews, all they ever see is your time in the boxing ring and the glory and the fucking lights and the fireworks going off and you have that. What they don't see, but is that you've had a lifetime, same as him, like people like, oh, was you surprised Jack retired at 30? They say, I knew he was going to retire. He'd been telling me since he's 16 he retired.
Yep.
Because he was spending 35 to 40 weeks of your dieting. Your friends are going out on certain dates, you can't go. It's so much you lose to win. Do you know what I mean?
And kids as well. You have
kids, you know, your daughters. I think priorities change a little bit, and no one really appreciates just amount of work mentally and physically that goes into becoming a
it's more,
especially at your level. I mean, world championship.
At that level, they don't realise how hard it is to get a 9 stone 9 or whatever you're fighting. They don't see how hard that is.
That's harder than the fight itself.
No, God, if we could have fight, I probably would have kept boxing. I didn't have to train fight. I'd have a spar and a fight now. If I don't go fucking make 9-9. Let me box 13 stone, but they're looking at me, oh, he's 6'4", man. But yeah, the fighting's the easy part. Making that 9 stone 9, dieting for 8 weeks, absolutely killing yourself, running twice a day, boxing, having injuries is unbelievable. Stress on the body and the brain.
Yeah, mentally as well was a big, big thing for you.
You lay in bed at night, thirsty, you think, oh, I can't do this, can't I? Want to drink? Oh, do I want to drink? Oh, I'm £8 over, fucking I can't have one.
Yeah.
you know, it's just hard work wise. And then sitting in that zone then for like 2 days for the weight cut. I mean, once I boxed Dave Matthews, went down there, so it was down the Vale with Guy Lockett. I was in the sauna for an hour, there was no sweat at me. And then I stayed in there for 2 hours, he said, fucking Guy, I go. He left me in there. And then I had to go back in there in the morning and no drink, no food. I had to go in for another 2 hours. It was that dry, and that nothing left in me. It was unbelievable. And I would never want to do it again.
You never ever missed weight though, did you?
No, only once. I did once.
Once?
When I was young 20. I was going to box, Martin... I can't remember. Martin Watson, I think, boxing for a Celtic title. I fell weight by half a pound. I got the way and he said, oh, go and run it off. I said, no. I only run for 2.5 hours in the morning. I said, I can't do no more. And I failed that, but then I absolutely battered him in the fight as well. I would have won the title, but...
You know yourself.
But I always made championship title at the time.
If you were saying at half a pound, I ain't doing no more. You know.
Oh my God! When I only ran for 2.5 hours. Oh my God! Unbelievable.
0.3.
I remember checking weight in UFC. They give you like a test scale at the back, and then you go out on the main stage for the scale. And I remember I checked weight on the test scale, and it was 0.1. And we had like 2 hours away, and I remember him saying, "So I could jump back in the bath." And I said, "We ain't doing it." I never said that because I'm going in our bed, and if I'm off, I'm off.
Because that point when, like you said about that, I'm done. It was when I retired. I'm done. I knew I was done. There was nothing that could change my mind in the world. When you got a weight cut, when you say you're done, you're fucking done now.
Once it's setting in your head, and then once mentally you thought, I can't fucking do no more.
It'd be too.
Who's the best fighter you fought? And it could be at amateur or pro.
Oh, obviously Broner was the best I fought. Yeah, brilliant. Sparred plenty of brilliant boys. Tony Dockley, Bradley Price. I sparred Ricky Burns, but obviously one of the ones people probably don't know is Tony Dockley. Brilliant talent. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
We were talking about him the other day when we were talking about Gary.
There's that thing of weight again. Put it in the gym, but unless you show people, no one cares, then, do they?
Yeah.
You know, just... But you probably put it at 12 stone. no, 10 stone like you needed to be.
Are you seeing this as a coach now where you've got lads that can do it in the gym, because we've seen it for years, but they can't do it on the nights?
Yeah, certain lads, in my gym, bring it in the gym. Come fight night, they don't listen to the diet, trying to lose half a stone, week to fight, 2-3 kilos, blowing up, and then obviously turn the fight night flat as hell. They make the weight, but with amateur boxing, like pro and MMA, you weigh at 6, you go box at 8.
Yeah.
So you have a bit of drink and a bit of food, you go, there's nothing going back into it, nothing at all.
So it's got
and then they go in and they're fighting flat, and you think, they say I'm giving all I got. I know you're giving all I got. I'm listening for the last 3 weeks to do the diet.
On a same day weight.
A good amateur should be losing 0.7 of a kilo from Monday to Friday. When you're going to box 2 weeks, you can't be losing weight, man.
Agreed.
You got to be walking, as an amateur, you got to be walking around on your weight. If you're walking around half a stone, you're not doing it properly.
Yeah.
Some of your favourite memories as a coach, because you've been, when do you have your pro coaching? Like, was that straight away as soon as you retired?
No, and Cody
Cody, when it was...
No, he was up with us, wasn't he? Doing a bit of coaching.
No,
Oh, yeah, he's a pro license now.
No, but when you had the pro coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, when I know, 2017, no, 17 maybe.
Because you and Cody were everywhere, when you were all up and down the country
It's
sparring.
another shame, massive waste of talent. But
What's happened with Cole? No,
he obviously lost that fight, didn't he? And then COVID come, and he started his business company. He was doing very well for himself, but then people don't realise, why ain't he boxing? You got to give up 8 weeks your career. Probably on a ticket deal, probably earn £1,000.
Yeah.
When he's probably earning £1,000 or £2,000 a week in work.
Yeah.
And why is he going to give up work?
Makes
People
sense,
don't know. And that's, people don't see how hard the pro boxing game is to make money. Same as MMA. Unless you're at the top winning belts, there's no money in the sport.
See,
I've had pros box, right? I'm not going to name them, but they box for free. They've sold the tickets, paid the opponent, and they box for absolutely nothing. But people don't see that what all these boys are going through.
Just for people listening at home, I would have worked with the boxing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gab, is that if you're the own fighter, you expect to sell enough tickets to cover your purse, their purse.
No, well, how it goes, right? Say I'm boxing you, and you having $2,500.
Yeah.
So I got to sell $2,500 worth of tickets. Sometimes you got to pay £500 to the promoter, so that's £3,000.
Yeah.
So if I'm only selling £3,000, you're having your $2,500, the promoter's having selling, I'm having fuck all.
I'm having nothing, yeah, no.
And there's not many boys in Wales probably selling $4,000 or $5,000 worth of tickets.
No.
You know, so and then what they do then with say you sold 5,000, so that's 3,000 gone. You got 1,000 each, and you and the promoter. So if I sold 5,000, I'm only on £1,000.
So if you sold 10, you'd have 2.5 on that extra fight.
Yep. That's
It's
how it
funny,
works.
I
That's how it
remember
works. Yeah.
speaking to Gary about this, and I remember he came to a couple of the Cage Warrior shows, and I remember him saying, he was saying to people at the Welsh Boxing Board, you need to come watch these shows because of how well they run. And he was saying they never done it in boxing, but it made sense that obviously in MMA, especially in Wales, you may have 4 or 5 pro fights at the top of the card, but you fill the rest out with amateurs because the amateurs will sell you 50 tickets here, 100 tickets here.
There's no cost to that.
So then they take the pros then kind of take care of themselves because the amateurs will sell the out. Do you think that's something that they could ever look at in Wales? Or
Possibly. They've been mentioning it for years and they just don't want to do it.
It seems like they're stuck in the Stone Age.
Yeah, it's the second story. Is what people don't, when you try to say you're fighting now, and you're fighting, trying to sell tickets to people, and they say, who are you fighting? Oh, boys lost 50, won none. You're thinking, it's very hard to sell.
Yeah,
You've got all these shows in Wales, unless you got the odd title fight on the show, every time, so you've got 10 fights, they 10 more.
You can name 10 winners straight away.
Of course you can, yeah. And people are saying, do I want to pay £100 for that? I go, no, I don't. So I'd rather not know the results before they go. So people don't want to pay that sort of money.
I obviously got a couple of friends on Gary's, whatever, that boxing at that, and I wouldn't, there's no point going to paying £100 for a ticket.
And that's what he needs. It's very hard for these boys.
I remember speaking to Reese Edwards, and he said, my first 3 or 4, I sold loads. And he said, then after that rock, because everyone's saying, well, no disrespect, I'm not paying £50 to come watch you steamroll a boy. I want to, you know what I mean? Not that they want to see you lose by any means, but they're like, it's not even a real fight. And I know what's going to happen.
So what's the sparring? Well, then he was good at the sparring partners, these boys. They're going to be no disrespectful to the genuine. They do a job. They go turn up, have 4 rounds, not get stopped, and take their money home.
Because totally with MMA, you might have one journeyman,
but he's coming to win.
Straight, ish. You know what I mean? You may be lucky you've got one guy that's going to roll over, then you're coming straight into 50-50s.
Yeah, pro boxing, you're like in 10, 15 bouts. Yeah, just coming to take up and survive.
Do you think that's too much? Do you think they should try and bring it in earlier?
It all depends what age these young boys are. Like me, I turned 18, they got a nursery room, but they got boys turning pro at 25, 26 who already fought the best amateurs around. Yeah. They don't need to fight.
They haven't got time either, have they?
Why are they fighting these boys walking over? They've been fighting the best boys in the world. Someone coming off a GB squad and all this. Let them have a bit of competition.
That's a good show. I think, again, I'd like to be, but boxing and anime are both going down that road where now you can build up such a good CV at amateur before turning pro. Yeah. Whereas before there used to be a little bit of a rush, I think, Jack, didn't it, to become as you said there. I had a good chat with Chris Fields, who's one of the top coaches in Ireland. He says he doesn't like his boys having way too many amateur fights now because the fights at the top end of amateur are a lot harder than the bottom end of the professional ranks. And that made sense, and I never really thought about that.
Yeah, because I think it's a motivation thing. Like, again, I remember speaking to Reese and him saying to me, I've gone from fighting the best boys in the world in the Commonwealth and the Junior British, whatever. He said, now I'm expected to be motivated for a guy who, won one and lost 50. He's like, I know I can blow out the water. Like, it got to be hard, and it's the same with MMA. Like, you can go, if you're 12, 15 and I was an amateur, you're going to fight another boy at that level. You turn pro then and fight I don't name him, but you fight a guy who's 1 and 15. You're not going to take it as serious.
Also, well, the other thing is, if I fight you 10 dummies, right? Yeah, do hammer roll. As soon as it's time to step up, and sometimes you ain't ready because you had no test. You had no 6-8 rounds around. So you blasted them all away. And when it comes to the crunch, then you ain't quite good enough to do it. So just wasted the time of 10 fights anyway.
I think that's where MMA have got it right. Is that you build the fighter up. So like if you're 5 fights and you're fighting somebody similar experience, similar record, you know, and then when you get that top tier, because it's a lot shorter path, let's be real, to a world title in MMA than what it is in boxing. Boxing, we're probably talking 30 fights, right? You can become there's several UFC champions less than 10 fights.
Well, I think that's Poirier won the belt. I think he's 14-0. That's a UFC title.
14 and regarded as pound for pound the best in the world. But it probably done everything from amateur and, as you said, the right training partner, so he's ready for that step up.
It's a lot more people, I think, worldwide probably competing and training in boxing than there is in MMA, which would make sense. But do you find that as well, like obviously you're a pro coach now, do you find that some of the boys are coming over from amateur, like Sammy and that then, who were so good at amateur that they just can't get themselves up for these fights?
I don't know what it is. They all box amateur, right? They walk around on their weight, 2-3 pounds. They obviously boxing every week on their weights, like Sammy, a couple of other boys. I'm not going to mention names. And then as soon as they turn pro, they think they're allowed to walk around 2 stone overweight and then 3 stone and then 4. Yeah. And then they make the weight again. They don't transacts from amateur to professional very good, to be honest, a lot of them.
Do you think
and they also, when they're amateurs, they train, they have a fight, they're back in the gym Monday. Yeah. So when they turn pro, they think they box Friday, they have fucking 4 weeks off. They come back 4 weeks later, 3 stones, like a training camp, a fat cam in to get back on weight.
Do you think that's a byproduct, like you said, of the amateurs, you weigh in 2 hours before when you could be told you're fighting in 5 days' time, whereas at pro, I think like everyone turns pro, you see it in the gym, and everyone suddenly thinks that they're Conor McGregor, and it's like, well, I am going to train properly for 4 weeks. I'll do my 6-week camp and I'll be it. And I am going to walk around. So I'll just go the day before weight and do the walk.
It's like when amateur, they train probably 10 years flat out non-stop. As soon as they come pro, they want to train for 2 months of the year.
Do you think it could be a case of burnout? Because I know so many good boys at amateur who had 150 odd amateur fights and then turn pro, and then like you said, hit the drink and start.
I don't know. I think obviously amateurs were most when they're kids. I think when they get that age, there's a lot of obstacles in life. Boys going out, wife, kids, jobs, lack of discipline a lot of the time. It's mental. I don't know what to come my finger on, to be honest.
It got to be frustrating for you, Ozzy, because they're known in your gym and they can ever say to you, well, how would you know? Like, you've been there, done it.
They all try to tell me I was done, how would they do this and do that. But, all the lies, like I said, the lies they tell, I've told them all night. I've known when you got boys saying they put half a stone last night, we were drinking some water, and I think, fucking hell, man, come on. Drink the sea. They're lying, like, isn't they?
We know someone
I say lying, and they look at your face and they will swear on their mum's life and everything. Yeah. Fucking hell, you lying, little fucker, like. It's this boy you got put up with, innit? They argue black and blue, they put half a stone, right? Never had nothing to hold in their mouth. Brilliant. And I got one kid at the gym, and he goes to bed every night and puts weight on. I said, what? I said, it's scientifically impossible. No then. I put a kilo on every night in my sleep. I'm like, oh, fuck me. I don't put anything in his mouth. He don't put anything in his mouth. I
want to ask about, I think I'm now regarded probably, one of the best coaches in the UK, not just Wales, for boxing. You've got a good amateur stable up there. You've had success with pros. Is it any sort of influence? Like obviously you've boxed under Enzo, you've boxed under Gary. I guess there were some coaches on the Welsh.
Yeah.
Is there any of them that you've taken traits of, or you just think that as a fighter you moulded your own?
I don't think you mould your own. I think when you boxed for so long and been training with someone like Gary and Enzo, you take parts of both. They've made me who I am now and made me the boxer I was. So you just take parts of that and then try to pass on to the kids.
Yeah. It's
very hard sometimes to pass on. I think sometimes a person is naturally gifted or they're not. Sometimes you can tell someone like Jack to do something, he can do it straight away. Yeah. But you can tell someone 20 times over and he's looking at a stupid anything card. Can you do it? I think a good boxer is always going to be a good boxer no matter what. As well, the discipline, like anything can go any further.
I think that's everything, innit? I think
like a footballer. Ronaldo probably couldn't have failed no matter who he played with. Yeah. He had that. He was born with that talent to play like that.
And that mentality and things to him. Like, don't drink coke.
You're going to see as he's 40 years of age, he's still playing football at top level. And a lot of other boys who don't live a life are burnt out by 30.
Off on holidays, taking his cup with him, so he's still
living a life.
You can't coach that into somebody.
The discipline.
The discipline have got to be there mentally. You can give them all the advice, but they've got to want to do it.
And back from my day, I think more or less 9 out of 10 was disciplined. I think now look at the kids at the gym and they're probably 2 out of 10 disciplined.
I see what you think.
Because I always say to all of them, right, they have McDonald's every day. I only had McDonald's when I was a kid with a treatment into Cardiff on the port. And the money. Me and the boys had a pound shade. I thought, we're buzzing that. The boys have tenners. They go to McDonald's every day. They have pizzas every day, Chinese. We only had our treatment when we was young. I think it's gone way too easy for these kids and they're not disciplined enough.
But I think it's life in general, Gav, because, for example, in a school, how many kids are leaving school early now? How many kids are telling members of staff to F off? And, you know, there's no consequence.
You didn't see it back in the day, though.
In our day, if you misbehaved in a gym, I dare say Enzo would say to one of the big lads, you can clip him on the fucking ear now when he's spanning, and stick one up. Do you know what I mean? It was self-governed, self-policed a little bit. We're the same in the gym. We have minimal disrespect in the gym because you can deal with it in an old school way. But like, I think going back to what you were saying about kids having no discipline, there is no discipline because parents are not allowed to wallop their kids no more. And I'm not saying you've got to beat your kid, right? But I don't think a wallop would hurt some of these kids just walking around the town at the moment.
Get cancelled now.
No, you can't cancel me. You won't cancel me. I can stand by that. Also, schools, there's no discipline. So it's nigh on impossible to get permanently excluded from school.
Yeah, I know.
So you're used to telling teachers to F off. So then when you go to a boxing gym now and you've got a coach, there's not got any hierarchy over you and they're going, right, you need to do this. It's like, I can't be bothered because I got that mentality of I can't be bothered.
I see it all the time,
And I do believe we have created this over the last, I don't moan to him all the time, the last 15 years as a society. Gwent Police, South Wales Police. If you're 15 years of age now and you commit a crime and you're arrested at 12:15, you've got to be released at midnight because they will not hold anybody from 15 years and under overnight. So they're laughing.
They do research, me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't know,
Yeah, so these coppers are saying, like, we're arresting boys, and then we're having to give them a lift home, and on the way home, we're going, you muppets.
Yeah, of course,
give us a lift home now, you dickhead. And he's like, we just cannot win
discipline in the
war.
world.
You can't win it, but
no.
You know, back in our day, and, you know, I'm older than you, but you probably remember, a copper would smash you straight in the mouth back in the day. They get you back, and we don't name names, but there's a local cop in Lady, he'd walk in the cell, shirt off, and beat the living daylights out of him. Right? We still see today. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No. But again, discipline has gone right throughout society, which makes your job and my job and his job as coaches even harder, I think.
I don't think it's very easy at my gym. I don't take no shitting about. No one's allowed to swear. They go swearing again, they have a row. I say, do that again, put some soap in your mouth. They look at me stupid.
Yeah, but once in the gym environment, we've got we've got it.
Yeah, they won't be. And I have kids come to my gym. My man's always very naughty. I was saying, well, he's an angel, and you would never know them kids are naughty outside my gym.
The gym.
Yeah, because I think they only know it because they can get away with it. Yeah. They know they can't do it in my gym, so they wouldn't dare do it.
Right, but exactly.
And they can just sort it out outside the world. I know what you mean. Yeah.
If they say stuff to you that you don't like, you can just simply say, "There's the door." Go.
Yeah, they wouldn't say it to me anyway. They wouldn't say it to me.
I always say to the kids, I think it filters out in the gym because. I always say to the youngsters, like, I was like, well, I'm not your babysitter. If you don't want to be here, fuck off and go and play football.
Right,
go and do something. I was in the house, like you said, tell them, mom to fuck off these days. Then like you can do about it. They can do about it, is it? They can't say, right, fucking go and find somewhere else.
My kids told me to fuck off, you have a slap.
I'd have bounced him off every ball.
My kids will sorrow.
Yeah, but that's not out it ain't like that no more, do you? I know. But I think the gym environment to filter that out as well. You know the kids that haven't got no discipline and don't necessarily want to listen. They don't ever last in a gym. You got
no, I don't know.
When he was in school, how many kids didn't want to do PE? Minimal. I don't know.
Yeah.
When if you're a class of 30, you might have 2 didn't want to do PE. It's split down the middle now, right? So this is because it's easy life, saying no, don't want to try stuff. And I just think it's so important. If you want a well-rounded human being, and I'm going to be boxing or MMA, football, rugby, they got to be doing a sport around like-minded people and being active and an element of discipline within that sport. Do you know what I mean? And I think everybody benefits from it.
Yeah, because I think people don't always get it home these days, do they? Back in the day, it was old school, you were disciplined. Well, talk about the current state of Welsh and British boxing. Is there anyone in Wales stands out to the minute you think, he's going to be the next one to go away? Obviously, Cordina was the last Welsh world champion when he's still obviously on the go now, Joe. What's your thoughts on the state of the minute? Because it seems like, and it's in a disrespect or anything, but it's kind of lulled a little bit over the last couple of years. You've gone from the glory days, but then, a couple of years, you had guys like Liam Williams that was still knocking around at the top level, Cordina, but it seems at the minute you got Rees, obviously you've just had that big fight, but we're waiting on a couple of stars to burst through at the minute, I think. Well,
right now it's probably no one going to be burst through. Obviously, Joe Calzaghe could still come back and do something, but the likes of any other big prospects in Wales are probably the likes of Rees Edwards just mentioned. Jordan Withers is a good kid, start training.
That's the lad I've seen this week of joined your gym.
Yeah, he's a good kid, very good amateur pedigree. Ronda. A good kid, but it's only an handful of good fighters. Brandon Scott could probably win titles. Apart from Welsh titles, and we're going to see those boys going. Probably wouldn't be winning British, European, and world honours. No, definitely not. Like I say, the handful I mentioned, yes. but it's not very weak at the moment. British boxing.
Struggling, doesn't it?
When you go to outlets, Welsh amateur shows and professional shows, you know the winners before you turn up with this, and you watch them. They're still very impressive. They take the journeyman at the points all the time. There's no one actually catching you. I think, oh, he's a good kid.
No. What do you think that is? Do you think it's...
I don't know.
There's more combat sports now, so you can do MMA as well as boxing, jiu-jitsu as well as, you know? Is it...
I just think it's so... I might be right. I just think it's so hard for like you said about Cody, why would he take 8 weeks off to make a £1,000 fight when he can make £1,000 a week and work? It's just such
I think what is with boxing, the Welsh don't support, like if you want Liverpool or Manchester or London, you get massive crowds that are selling a couple hundred tickets, and when you're only selling like 50 to 100 tickets, you're only just about getting by. So a lot of the good talent then choose not to fucking box.
Yeah,
they choose to walk away, or a lot of them just choose to go on the road. It's easier money.
Yeah,
it's just sad, really.
What do you want to become a journeyman?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well,
a good journeyman, right, can box 3 times a month. That's £6,000, £10,000 a month.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Hey, a good prospect is boxing every 3 months and earn £1,000.
Yeah.
So you know,
you totally get that.
Weigh it up. Yeah.
There was years ago. Edwards was with me. We cornered up in Bristol, MMA event, but they had a couple of boxing bouts on. So the promoter come up to me and said, "Oh, this boxer will come down to fight one of the local lads. He ain't got no one to corner him. Would you help him out, jump in the corner?" I said, "Yeah, come on, we'll do some pads." So I started doing some pads with him. I just think this kid's mustard, right? He's like a rocket. I said, "Oh, but," I said, "I've seen this kid fight. You're going to knock him out in like literally a minute." He leans over, he said, "Do you know I've come here to lose, don't you?" So I've had no experience of this now. I went, "What do you mean I've come to lose? I'm getting paid to lose." I said, "Well, you better not be hitting like written pads."
That's what I mean, yeah.
You're going to knock him out, right? I said, so then he sat and he said, "Well, yeah," he said, like, "I'm fighting today. I'm fighting next."
That's exactly what I said.
And he said, like,
probably an ex-pro.
The problem is, if they win, they fight next week will get cancelled, and 1 week will get cancelled, they're not getting money. So they will go in there, they will not throw no punches on purpose.
And he's got a price to try and win the fight and a price to come and roll over. You're saying, like, I charge you this amount if you want me to come and roll over, or if you want me to try and win the fight, it's this price. I couldn't believe it, but he's gone out there. Ask Edwards this, right?
I remember this.
And he's gone in, he's like, wallop this boy with a body shot, and the boy of, like, you know, close to taking a knee, and like, you haven't followed up a little bit, and he's like, just put. I said, "But you've just won that round, right?" All right. So then the end of the second round, he goes, "Have I lost that round here now?" I said, "It's a round each, third round now, you need to lose this round," right? So he's gone out, and he've only thrown like a jab, but the boy walked onto it, and you know when someone's legs goes like this, and like the crowd going, "Go on, get on him," and he's gone, he's clinched him up, held on to him, let him come round, let him hit him through his end, he lost 2 rounds to 1. And the guy have had like 200 people up on the chairs celebrating like it was a world title. I'm like, come on, boys. But I never
a lot of pro boxing, like people don't get to see that. But yeah,
like experience that.
It was that old clip online, wasn't it, years ago? There's I think it was a journey when he was obviously a good amateur, and some guy like took the piss at the weigh-ins and proper like tried to do it, and he just decided like, fuck him, I'm gonna fucking knock him out. Just some like 9-0 amateur just went in and started, like you said, get your fights cancelled then for the rest of the month.
Yes, lose the pays.
What's the plan for the future now with the boys? Also, like you say, you've cut your stable down a little bit, just focusing on 1 or 2 boys until a lot of your amateurs are ready to turn over. Where do you sort of see it in 5 years? You got a lot of boys on the verge, I'm guessing, of turning 18, and
I got a lot of boys. 17-year-olds in the gym, probably going to go pro next couple of years. Tom Woodhouse, he's fighting for the Welsh title on Saturday down at Spy Gardens with Harry Mocken and Joe Calzaghe, both fighting. All 3 of them fighting the Welsh. So they all like 15. Tom's 17. So hopefully the next they'll be dedicated, and they'll come through and be pros the next 4 or 5 years. You know, I've had that gym 11 years, right? And I've always had these feelings about boys coming through, I'll be pro now soon. And not one in the last 11 years has gone from age and come through to be pro. Like I said, the distractions of drink, girls, jobs, no one of them, I've come to think, he's going to be good. 16, 17, start missing 1 session, 2 session. Next thing they're going to be gone.
We've had him with us, we've been thinking, like, this is a dead shirt to get the UFC.
Yep, 100%.
He's changing, he just disappeared.
Yep. Like I said, sometimes you get jobs and girls somebody's heartbreaking sometimes, and you see them a couple of years' time. They come back to my gym, 20 kilos overweight. I want to come back. I said, "You're fucking 26 now, man." You know, I've had boys come to my gym like 30 on it. I want to turn pro. Like, fucking hell, we used to do that 20 years ago now.
you still love the coaching, still in love with
Yeah,
the
of course.
sport?
There's a couple of coaches on the group. Yeah, I was going to say, there's a couple of coaches on the group. Keith Jeffries, Guy Butcher, both of the 86, something like that. And Mrs. will say, you're going to be like him.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
100%.
And Gary to message me even today, whether it's your birthday, my birthday, or if you've had a fight, Gary would, not publicly, would send me a message and just say, congratulations, watch the fight, well done.
Yeah.
Gary Butcher, and he'd always sign off, Kim Carney.
It's like you say, but what else am I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, I've done this now since I was 9.
It's your lifestyle.
Yeah,
well,
well,
me, but
I said, why I work 7 days a week, don't train people on gym. If I go up there, I was like, oh, I shouldn't be sat I'm bored as fuck. She said, what's wrong with you, man? I do not like sitting in my house. I like sitting in my gym. I like being in the gym all day, every day.
Yeah, brilliant.
I don't know why.
How would you have managed if you was coaching yourself back in the day?
Be worse on my boys, like me. I would have lost me at 20, not 25. Oh, you know, I had to whinge about my kids. I'd probably the same as them or worse than them. Yeah. You know, but I can't say that because my boys up the gym are only 15. From the age of like 15 to 18, I was 100%.
Yeah,
it wasn't like I got a little bit older then. Yeah. Like when I went pro, like the boys were whinging, think we can have a couple of weeks off. We can have a couple of weeks off, put loads of weight on hard to get back off. And then just thinking bad habits. But as a kid at 15 years of age, I was in that gym every day, always on weight. And when I was an amateur, I didn't cut weight. Yeah. I was always on weight.
Always ready to fight.
Yeah, we trained hard, always on weight. And then that was it. And we'd lose a kilo. I got boys at the gym losing 15 years. Like fucking 8 pound over, 9 pound over. It's just impossible.
And I think that's why that will let
I got for like half a stone overnight. It's like I never done that when I was a kid.
And they won't want to do it in the future.
No. To be fair, that's one thing I think we as a gym have got whooped is none of our amateurs are cutting big weight like that up for the same day weigh in, are they? Particularly the youngsters, they're all going in at around while they're walking around, or they diet down properly to it. Do you know what I mean?
With boxing, right, you can obviously be a good club show fighter if you got a bit of weight on you. But to beat the best in Wales and better, you've got to be lean, you've got to have a six pack, and to be like that, you've got to be disciplined every single day. You can't be having cheats all the time because you won't look like that and won't get that weight.
Yeah.
If I had you in the gym, your perfect weight's 50, you walk around 55, you got to want to train, you want to diet. Especially now, the season's only from like September to May, so it's only we've got a couple of months to have off in the summer.
Yeah. There's no boxing bouts, is it, between me and...
It is box cups. I go to box cups, but a lot of gyms are shut for all the summer.
Yeah.
So I become contract.
Yeah, it's like 6 weeks holiday, so 8 weeks holiday, they all shut like that. Now the championships now in May. I got a show to May 24th. There's one at the start of June, and there'll probably be no shows until September.
That's mad, isn't it?
Do a lot of gyms not do any training in it?
Yeah, loads of gyms, yeah.
So just to have a little bit
I always have the first show back of the season in September. It's like 400 gyms, we're shutting over another 2 weeks. I'm like, fucking hell, my show's in 2 weeks. A lot of gyms are shut.
A lot of people walk away from the sport.
Yeah, well, I don't shut at all. I stay open all year round, and that's where the boys get better.
Yeah, and that's how we got to be.
And then the boys who are coming in 6 weeks holiday, the boys who are dedicated and want a box.
How many amateurs you got now, Gav, roughly?
Oh, maybe 40 on the cards as well.
Really?
Yeah, I got loads, man.
It's a big old
30 or 40. Yeah.
You've done a lot of work with obviously a lot of us MMA boys have come to train with, a lot of BKB boys.
Yeah.
Do you notice obviously other than the obvious, like the skill set of a good level pro boxer, obviously a lot higher than an MMA striker or a BKB fighter, but do you notice any different in some of their attitude or discipline with the training?
No, I'd say Jack Marshall, dedicated to the core. What I do notice with the ones transferring to BKB, it's all the boxers and the ones who know the boxers are doing very well.
Yeah.
It's obvious, really. You got get a good boxer. I got a couple of good ones now on. I had to do PTs with they go in, they're fighting boys off the streets who are Stradford, think they're tough enough pub. Yeah. They can't fucking box for the life of them.
We've had this conversation.
You see all these BKB, you've got the odd boxer in it, and they stand up a mile. They look like a boxer.
But I'm 53-year-old old man. I reckon I could do 50% of that roster.
Yeah,
honestly,
some of them terrible.
It's
they
terrible.
Can't punch heads down, slapping.
I'm blind. I got a job to walk, but I'm confident I can beat that.
And you can see the ones that have done a bit because you know,
you know straight away when you watch them, man.
Not even jesters. You'll be like the boxers or the kickboxer. They'll have a fight. You know what I mean? They'll get clipped and they'll keep fighting. You can see the Muppets off the street because they
turn around straight away.
Because they give it the hardest fight. They get cracked with a jab and they take a knee.
How many knees got took in them Cardiff shows? Last 2 shows. I've never seen so many people take a knee.
Oh yeah.
Right, it's supposed to be the most brutal sport in the world.
I think down here, right, it was I think it was either 10, 11 fights and 9 of them stopped in the first round.
Did you go to the last one last week?
No, I
seen you down at
had
Jack's
boxing
one
there,
day
boxing there.
in-
I went, last time I went out was February, I went out now.
What do you think of the atmosphere? Because they do have a good atmosphere.
Well, I got to tell the truth, I think it's brilliant. I'm always
They
pissed
do.
in the crowd. That was my last time. I don't drink very often. I only drink now at the BKB events.
Thank God. Thank God. Keep it down there.
It is,
Don't
thank
bring up the
God.
MMA
1st of
events.
February is my last time. I haven't
They'll
done
be on
since.
They'll be on it for a
I
comeback.
wanted to go to this one, and the boy boxing, oh, fuck's sake, man, right out. But no, that
They'll
was
be
it.
only for a comeback now for the
No.
BKB.
No, I wouldn't do either.
When I
Ain't that
get,
dull? You have a go, Jack.
No, like fuck.
It is very brutal, man.
Oh, it's a brutal
You know, they say they only last in a round, but in them rounds, their faces are busted up, their hands are busted up.
Even the boys
It's,
win in,
you know,
like they busted.
in a boxing match, I have my gloves on. My hands used to kill with gloves on. I can't imagine punching someone for 3 rounds with no gloves.
Like, I think
my hands would break.
you've got to have that art. We speak about Sean George, you know. Sean George, wherever he done BKBM, he's an hard man. Do you know what I mean? He can accept, he can absorb punishment. He's willing to go to the deathbed, to be honest.
Yeah.
And somebody like him is why you've been such a stand-up. But as you said, I think the levels is so disparaging compared to other sports, because your bottom end guys are like this, like drinking in the pub right up until the week of the fight. They may be doing a couple of pad sessions with their friends a week. I think they go to BKB. And then you've got somebody like Georgie who's getting up 5 o'clock, doing a training session, going to work in an 8-hour day, doing another training session. You know, there's a difference in that level, as we've said all throughout this podcast. Discipline and application to training.
Yep.
But what I want to finish on, but before we wrap it up, obviously he was very fortunate to have experienced watching Joe Calzaghe, not just fighting at the big, but also in that gym. How good was he? How good? Because you see all these people comparing, like, how would he have done against this guy today? And how good was Joe? Because, you know, we can all say it from watching him fight and all the rest of it, but you was in there day in, day out, watching him train. And as you said earlier, fantastic trainer.
Yeah, of course, he wasn't just the best body boxer I've seen, but he was the most dedicated and trained hard as well.
His
you know,
dedication
run every day, train every day. When we go running, he'd go straight off in front. I wasn't a good runner anyway. I was always fucking cheating and running slow. But yeah, his dedicated was unbelievable. And like I say, you wouldn't be able to fight 12 rounds like you could fight absolute flat out if you didn't train hard. You can't skip training, skip your running if you're going to fucking box like that. Yeah. You know, you need to be dedicated to everything, the diet and everything. Unbelievable. Like I say, we always go comparison. Could he beat Roy Jones in his prime? It's one of those things. No fucking knows there, but he would have sort of got a chance of beating anyone.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
As well. I didn't have the benefit. You know, I wasn't blessed enough to train with him, but just
No, but you can see from you watch his fights, you think, he don't train properly. Yeah. You watch a fight, you couldn't get like that unless you train hard.
And Joe's physique,
it's absolutely impossible.
He's not like a big muscular lad.
No, he'd probably look at him and go, I could beat him. He got no muscle.
You know,
well, no,
and
he
I
got
think
muscle.
that was probably done
not like some of the boys you watch.
Training the way he trained, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine the way he trained hard to keep
back when I would my time with Joe, like when we trained, a lot of the boys now all get on strength conditioning, build muscles. Years ago, there was none of that. None of us did build and done any weights on strength conditioning. All the training was years ago. You'd go to your boxing, you'd spar, you'd do 12 rounds, and you'd run. That was our whole training was. There was no weights, no strength conditioning. Like I say, it was back in the old school days, to be honest.
One for me before we finish. Is there anyone at your weight, whether it be past, present, that you wish you could have fought and never end up fighting?
No, not to be honest. There was a couple of boys then, go on. I wish I would have boxed back in the day. It would have been a good fight with like John Murray, Ricky Burns and Kevin Mitchell, and Alex Arthur and Michael Gomez. They was a couple I could have boxed, but they never crossed paths. But that's all those really.
No, well,
couple of good boys. They were all good fighters back in the day, brilliant, all good champions. Like.
Just everybody know where your gym is, how they can reach you if they want to come and join.
It's in Pantside, Pantside ABC, Mighty Pantside, Just give us a text on Facebook or social media and I'll let you know.
We'll chuck it in the description. Right, Gav, thanks for coming back.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Nice to catch up back.
We'll see you soon.